So today I'm going to be talking about Rubik's Cubes, and hopefully by the end of this you'll know an effective way of solving one. This is the method that I would recommend starting with, and it's actually suitable to get you pretty fast times. I could say you could maybe get to 45-ish, 40 seconds if you learn the techniques very well. So, I think the best way I can do this is firstly by just explaining how I'm going to go about this. And so a few things to cover. I'm going to talk about algorithms in this video, and for algorithms what you'll be doing is I'll give a sequence of moves. They'll be represented by letters around the top, and I will tell you what to do, and that will correspond with a sequence of moves you're going to do. Now, you don't actually have to do any algorithms until all of this block here is solved, but yeah. So let me go over some misconceptions first. I first wanted to mention a misconception that you get one colour, then you do the next colour, and that's not actually the case. Let me take a piece out real quick. And so we look at this. This is an edge piece. This fits in, and then you have this, which is a corner piece. And these all fit around this core. And what we can tell by this, and this is how people found the original solution to the Rubik's Cube, so these centre pieces will always correspond with each other. So for example, the amount of times I move the middle layer and the top layer, whatever, it's always, these are always going to stay the same. So for example, this yellow is going to be opposite of white all the time, green is always going to be opposite of blue, and red is opposite of orange. And what these centres therefore do is define which side's which colour. So I know this side here, this is going to end to the white side, this is going to be the green side, it's going to be red, it's going to be orange, yellow, blue, so on and so forth. Now you don't do it colour by colour. Instead, due to the way the cube is built, you build all of this layer here, add on, and you only need to add 4 pieces to build the middle layer, and then you use algorithms to do the last one. And that sounds daunting, but it isn't. So, I'm not going to go over how to read the algorithms yet. I'll go over that in the algorithms section of the video. I'd much rather see some people get this part of the video down before trying to start learning algorithms. So I'm going to do 2 examples for this, and I'm going to show you how it's done. So here's what we do. We start by making a daisy, and what this is all of the white edge pieces, those are these pieces in the middle here, that have 2 colours on them. We're going to get all of them around the yellow, and this one we've actually already got 2 on there, and so that's quite lucky. But we need to put this one on, so I can put it there and put it up, and then we've got this one. And ignorant of the corners, we've got a daisy. If I show you another example, so there's one, this one's here, and so we'll put it on, and then the last one's on the bottom, and so we put it on. And so on both of these we've got this. Now this is a basic way of doing the cross. There's a more advanced method which, you know, you can move on to just doing it intuitively without this step and just putting the pieces right in, but for now this is a very easy way to do it. And so let's continue. What we'll be doing is looking at the other colours on the pieces. For example, this one has white on it and also has green. And if we find the middle piece that's also green, so there's this one, we'll just put it on top. And then we just take it and move it twice in either direction, because twice in each direction is the same thing. And it will be on the white side connected to the middle one. And you can do this for all of them. So you can do red here, and you can do, that's not red, you can put red on, here. And then these two are both correct, and so we can put blue on, and we can put orange on. And as you can see there, we have just created what's a white cross. And so at this point we're ignoring the corners. We've got all of the white edges done, and it's matched with its centre, like so. So, going through that one step again. This one's blue, and so I'll put it on top of blue, and put it in like that. This one's red, so same story, like this. This orange one, and this green one. And same case, we have now got this. And so far you got the cross done. So, very good. The next thing we're going to move on to is getting all the corners in. And so, the way I learned it was recognising it from this angle. What you're going to do is find a corner that has white on it. Preferably white not facing down, but you do get white facing down, and so I'll show you how that works. What you do is you take your white corner and you find out what the other colour that's not facing down is. So in this case it's orange, and so we're going to move it over to orange. And what this tells us is that this is going to come up here, in between green and orange. What we can do to put it in there, because we can't just put it in like that, that just removes a piece of the cross. But we can do something like this, and so we'll just kind of move this piece out of the way right now, and so it's just over here. And if we bring the orange down like this, we can actually put this right next to it, and in like that, and we've also already had this in when we finish the cross, and that happens sometimes, it's nice. And so the same story here, the other colour on it was orange and white, and so we know it's got to go here. So move it out of the way, bring this down, put it in, and that's it. And then follow the same step for this last one, and if you've done it correctly, you should have one solved layer. So let's look at this again. So the first one I could see would be this one with green on it, and so it's got to go there, like that. The next one would be this one with blue on it, which goes in like that. Now this is unfortunate, it's facing downwards like that, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend it's not, and I'm just going to put it in anyway, and we actually keep it underneath the slot this time, and just have it in like that. And then what we can do is do it anyway, and then it's correct, so we'll just put it in like that, and then there's one last one, which would be this one. Alright, so we're doing pretty well actually. Right now we've got a third of it done, and so our next step is to solve the middle, and in this case we've already got 2 done, and that's unfortunate because it's not easy to do. Now this is the part where we're kind of going to need an algorithm. It's just 8 moves, which will put one in there, and 8 moves isn't actually much. If we find any edge piece here without any yellow on it, that's what we're looking for. So it's not this one, however if we look at these 3, they're all usable. So let's look, we can do this one maybe, and we know and we're matching it with red because red's on the front, and the other one is green, and what we know from that is that it's going down here to the green, and it's going to the right, and so we're going to do this algorithm on the right. So I may as well cover notation with you now. Let me just do it on this 2x2 because that's what I have to hand. And so the faces are named like so. Right, left, that's easy enough to remember. Front and back. again, easy to remember. This is the weird one, up and down instead of top and bottom, and the reason for that is because we like to label it with one letter and we can't have back and bottom, they'd both be B, and so we just use up and down. It's just as easy to remember. And so, of course, you can't just say right. It's awkward to do and it doesn't work. And so you can do certain things. You can do a clockwise rotation, so for the front face that would just be a normal clockwise turn. You can do an anti-clockwise rotation, which is just like that. Or you can move it twice, and when you move it twice, it doesn't matter which direction you do it in, because you're just moving it twice. And so front is intuitive to figure out, and then we got up, and again it's just like imagining you have on front. With right, clockwise is like this, and anti-clockwise is downwards. So clockwise is up, anti-clockwise is down, and of course twice. And we represent it like this. If it's clockwise, it's just the letter on its own, so R, U, F. If it's anti-clockwise, we use an apostrophe and we call it prime, so that would be R prime, U prime, F prime. And then you just have a 2 next to it if it's moving twice. And so that's the algorithm notation. Let's give an example algorithm here. So here we go. We have it here and we go U, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, F prime, U, F. And as you can see, it's placed in like that. And now I want to do this edge. And so we'll do the algorithm again. U, R, wait no, damn, I did that wrong already. Yeah, U, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, F prime, U, F. Now, this one, I've got to insert to the left, so I'm going to do it like this. U prime, oh, I need to cover something. If it's the left, we actually do the complete opposite, and so normal left is down and left prime is up, and so the faces do the opposite, and so whereas U would be this way, D is actually this way, and whereas F would be this way, B is this way. So just remember they do the opposite of what they do. And so this one looks like this. U prime L U. You see, look, it even confuses me. It's U prime L prime U L U F U prime F prime. And then this one again. U prime L prime U L U F U prime F prime. And if we look, we've now got the first 2 layers solved. Let's go through it again. Now we've got 2 done already, and that does sometimes happen, and it's always nice. So this one, we're going to use the left one. U prime L prime U L U F U prime F prime. And one more here. U prime L prime U L U F U prime F prime. And here we are. We've got 2. Now all we need is to finish this with algorithms. And since there are so many cases, I will explain to you the most basic way to do it. So let's begin. So I've only got 2 cubes on me, so I have to do a separate part for the 3rd case. But a fun fact about edges, you can only have an even number misoriented. So you can't have 1 misoriented, or 3, or 5, or 7. It's always an even number. And so we got 2 oriented, 2 misoriented here. 2 oriented, 2 misoriented, but you can also have 4 misoriented, which will be the last case I show you. These are both 6-move algorithms to get them all oriented, which is always very nice. And so, yeah, this first one is when the 2 are opposite from each other like this, and this other one is when they're adjacent to each other like this. So when they're opposite, you want the line the line like this going horizontal, and you can have the corners looking different. You're just looking at the edges though right now, and you're going to do this algorithm: F R U R prime U prime F prime, and in doing that you have all of the edges done, and just some more to do. With this one, you want the edges to be here, so on the left and in the top, and you do F U R U prime R prime F prime, and there you are. You'll have all of your edges done. Now the only other case there is where you have a dot, and what you want to do for this case, it doesn't matter from where, but you want to do the first one like this: F R U R prime U prime, but don't finish with the last F, and finish it off like that, and that will leave you with one of these. And you could just move around and do it, or you can just do it from here. And so instead of moving just the front one, you do what's called either front wide, which would be FW, or it will just be a lowercase f. And so that's the front two layers: R U R prime U prime F prime, and all of your edges should be done. So when you've got all your edges done, there are 7 possible combinations of corners. These are the first 2. They look pretty similar, but we're looking at where the yellow corners are, and in this one we call it Sune, and you can see one in the front here. In this case you can't, because they're all rotated differently like that, and so they're in different places on each side. And so this is the first one, and it's 7 moves, and it goes like this: R U R prime U R U2 R prime. This other one is called Antisune, and we actually do this one backwards, and we do it from over here. And so you want to have the fish facing the top right, and you do R U2 R prime U prime R U prime R prime, and that should return a solved cube. Well, not a solved cube. It will get all of this right. It's just because how I set them up, it's solved. After this, there will be more moves to do. For these two, you can see that there are no corners facing upwards on this layer. So for this one, these two are facing this way, the other two are facing to the back, and we'll go R U2 R prime U prime R U R prime U prime R U prime R prime, and that will complete this yellow face. For this one, you've got 2 facing to the left, 1 facing to you and 1 facing to behind you, and you go R U2 R2 U prime R2 U prime R2 U2 R, and that will solve all of the yellow side. So for these two, you have 2 facing the top, and they're both in the same sort of place. It makes a fat T. So this one is actually called T, and it's where you have this block done on the top, and you just have 1 corner facing you, 1 corner facing behind you, and you're going to do left wide prime, so that's these 2, U prime L U R U prime R Y prime F. For this one, you recognise that when you hold this in the back, these 2 are facing towards you. They're often referred to as headlights. And you do R2 D R U2. No, that's R prime U2 R D prime R prime U2 R prime. Right, and yeah, there's one more, looks like a bow tie, and we do it from here, and where you have one corner here, one corner here, and you have the corner in the bottom left here facing you, and we'll do R prime F, R B prime, R prime F prime, R B, and that will solve the entire yellow side. Okay, so you should be left with just the cube a bit scrambled on top here, just around here. And for this you need some algorithms. And so first you're looking for maybe a pair of two. You could have all your corners done, in which case you'll skip to the next segment, but if you don't, you do need to know these algorithms. So let me just adjust the camera so it's better angle for this. And so you find a pair of two and you hold them in the back, and we do R2, no we don't, R, F, okay hold on, let me just get my mind check. We do R prime, F, R prime, B2, R, F prime, R prime, B2, R2. And what this will do is this will sort all of our corners out just to swap edges. If you don't have any pairs here, the corners are all diagonal from each other, you just do the algorithm twice. And so I've done it once. Then I have a pair of these, and I just do the R prime F, R prime B2, R F prime, R prime B2, R2. That will set me up for an edge permutation. Okay, so the first edge permutation I'm going to teach you is a clockwise U-perm. And you recognise this because the colours have to go around clockwise, and so the green one has to come to red to here, the red one has to go here, nothing goes here, and this one just goes across. And you go R2, U, R, U, R prime, U prime, R prime, U prime, R prime, U, R prime. There. There's this one, we have to go anti-clockwise, so this one has to come to here, this one goes to here, there's nothing there, and so this one goes across here. And this one goes R, U prime, R, U, R, U, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, R2. So, very simple, and they just use R and U. The last two is where you don't have a solved side, and for this one you notice everything has to go across from where it is, and so this one goes to here, this one goes to here, and vice versa. And this is the easiest one, and this middle one we call M, and it moves the same as L, and so M prime is the same as L prime, M is the same as L prime. And we do M2U, M2U2, M2U, M2. Now we'll solve it. For this one, we notice they have to move, but there are two pairs that need to swap, so this needs to swap with this one, and over here we have this one needs to swap with this one. And we hold it so that the two need to swap are this pair in the bottom and the right, and this one in the left and top. And we'll do M2U, M2U, M prime U2, M2U2, M prime U2. And that will solve it. And that's every single algorithm to solve the Rubik's Cube. And yeah, that's all you need. Now, more advanced people will sometimes learn other techniques, like instead of exclusively solving the white cross, You can do the yellow cross, you can do every single cross. It's not a side you have to start on, it's just a consistency thing. But you can also learn methods where you just faster ways to go about solving this block down here, because that is the longest step. And then you can learn an algorithm to always solve that, but there were 57 of them, and every single case for the top layer does have an algorithm, and that's the advanced method. This method should last you long and set you up with the knowledge you need to learn further, and so hopefully you can at least solve something once looking at the algorithms in this video. I hope I helped. I hope maybe somebody solved a cube for the first time after watching this. And so in future I'm going to hopefully make a video teaching a more advanced method, but if I do, it will probably be on my cubing channel, and so I do have that channel and I'll link it in the description. This is going on my main channel because I want to publicise the actual method more, and so this is it. Thank you for watching, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.